Hello friends, welcome to my classroom. In this lecture, we will discuss about theories of mass transfer. We will discuss about overall mass transfer coefficient. Also, if time permits, we will solve numericals on theories of mass transfer and analogies between momentum heat and mass transfer. In the previous lecture, we have solved a few numericals on dimensionless numbers like Reynolds number, Schmidt number, and how to determine Sherwood number. And once we determine the Sherwood number from the correlations for different geometries or different flow past solid systems under various flow conditions like Reynolds number limit or Schmidt number limit, we have determined the Sherwood number, and from Sherwood number we have determined the mass transfer coefficients. Once we determine the mass transfer coefficients, we can substitute in the flux expression, because flux is equal to mass transfer coefficient into driving force. So we have determined the flux, that is our rate of evaporation or the rate at which the solute A, species A is diffusing, right? So that we have done. We have solved a few numericals also in the previous lecture. Okay. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about theories of mass transfer. See, in a chemical industry, we have unit operations and unit processes. In unit processes or in chemical reactions, we come across gas solid system, whereas in unit operations like mass transfer, we come across several gas liquid systems. Okay, so in gas liquid systems, so it is that there are two phases are involved, so there exists an interface, and we are having a bulk concentration in the gas phase, we have bulk concentration in the liquid phase, and we have an interface. See, at the either side of the interface between a gas and liquid, we assume thin film exists, and based on that we can try to express what is the resistance to mass transfer within these thin films, and thereby we try to establish the mass transfer coefficient terms, and we can even define overall mass transfer coefficients. Okay, so that's why we are going to start with theories of mass transfer followed by overall mass transfer coefficient, and towards the end, if time permits, we will solve few numericals based on these theories of mass transfer and analogies between momentum heat and mass transfer. Ready? In this lecture number 25, we will discuss about theories of mass transfer, overall mass transfer coefficient, and few numericals. So the learning objectives of this lecture are, at the end of this lecture, the learners will be able to explain various theories of mass transfer. Learners will be able to define what is mass transfer coefficient, able to explain what is the relationship between overall mass transfer coefficient and the individual mass transfer coefficients, and they will be able to explain the analogies between momentum heat and mass transfer, and solve few numericals on the above topics. If you look at the mechanism of mass transfer, because we have seen that we have moved from molecular diffusion to convective mass transfer. So in molecular diffusion, the mechanism is well established. We have seen how the diffusion takes place in gas phase, liquid phase, and diffusion in solids, and how Knudsen diffusivity takes place in at the small pores, right? So now we're moving on to convective mass transfer. As I told earlier, in chemical industries, we are going to have unit processes and unit operations, and absorption, distillation are some of the unit operations wherein gas and liquid often come in contact with each other during the course of separation processes. Okay, for example, ammonia will be diffusing from flue gas into water or acetone solvents. Okay, so always when there are two phases coming in contact with each other, we have an interface coming into picture. Okay, at this interface, we want to know how the mass transfer is going to take place across this interface, because we have one end, we have bulk concentration of the solute A in the gas, and in the liquid we have bulk concentration of the solute in the liquid, right? So between these two well-known parameter, because we know the concentration of A in the gas phase and we know what is the concentration of solute in the liquid phase, but how to measure this interface concentration? Okay, so how the mass transfer is taking place? Is there any equilibrium existing between the bulk and the interface, or at the interface what is happening? All that are being explained through various theories of mass transfer. Okay, if you look at the mechanism of mass transfer across this interface, it can be explained on the following theories, such as Weightman's theory. I'll switch on the pointer. So we have Weightman's two-film theory, Higby's penetration theory, Dankworth's surface renewal theory, Tour and Machello's film penetration theory, and we have other theories like surface renewal theory and surface stretch theory. So in this particular lecture, we will focus on some important theories like two-film theory, penetration theory, and surface renewal theory. Okay. So to start with, in the film theory, so if you are having an interface, say for example you have a solid and you have a liquid, or you have a gas and a liquid. So from the gas at the surface of the liquid, say if you consider the example of water getting evaporated into this thing, so we have at the surface of the water, we have the concentration. We know well-known concentration because the surface vapor pressure of these things, so partial pressure equal to vapor pressure into mole fraction. If it is pure water, we are going to have PAS equal to PA naught, that is vapor pressure, right? We did numericals also. So to convert that into concentration, P by RT, PA by RT, we will get the CA value, right? So we know the concentration at the surface. And what is the concentration in the bulk? So we know, let it be Ca2. But actual mass transfer may be taking place in this fashion. Okay, Ca1 to Ca2 may be varying from the surface interface to distance away from the interface. Okay, so we have concentration difference. So there exists a driving force, and we have mass transfer taking place. Okay, so even if it is a multi-component diffusion or diffusion plus chemical reaction, so this basis will be very much useful. Okay, so here what we do is we introduce instead of considering the whole length distance away from the interface, we know that there is a concentration at this one, and in the bulk we have another concentration. So what we can consider is, we can consider a thin stagnant film, an effective film thickness. Okay, something imaginary. Okay, so and what we consider is the concentration change is taking place only across this wall to the effective film thickness, beyond which there is a well mixed zone. That means it is the bulk concentration is uniform beyond this effective film thickness. Even though these dotted lines show that there is change in concentration, but we consider that is negligible, and beyond this effective film thickness we are having an uniform concentration, we can say bulk concentration. Okay, so within this we are going to have concentration difference Ca1 and Ca2. Okay, and the mass transfer is taking place across this stagnant film only. The effective across this thin film we have mass transfer taking place, and within this film laminar flow exists, and we can say that molecular diffusion is applicable. Okay, concepts of molecular diffusion is applicable. However, we can say that the resistance is inverse of mass transfer coefficient, and that mass transfer coefficient is a function of molecular diffusivity. How it is changing based on different theories, we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so as this green line shows, so instead of actual plot of change in concentration with respect to distance, we assume that across this film there is change in concentration Ca1 to Ca2, and the mass transfer is linear. Okay, and beyond this line we have uniform concentration of Ca2. Okay, because that is actually, we can, if you recall the fluid mechanics where the velocity gradient diagrams are drawn, similar to that we can draw concentration gradient also. Okay, because when you have a turbulent flow, we have seen that flat velocity profile, and near the solid boundary we have a boundary layer thickness within which The boundary layer is an imaginary line which separates the fluid from uniform velocity to 0 to 99 percentage of uniform velocity, right? Similar to that here also. So under this thin film, small layer only, we are going to have concentration changing, beyond which whatever change is there we can consider it to be uniform, because that is turbulent zone where we have uniform concentration. Okay, so that is how we are going to discuss about this small laminar layer near the wall. Okay, and this mass transfer is mainly by molecular diffusion in the small thickness, and the concentration gradient is assumed to be linear. As the distance from the wall is increasing, you have effective turbulent. That is the effect of turbulence is more. So that way we have uniform concentration in that region, and the resistance to mass transfer occurs only within the thin layer, thin thickness, what we are considering to be laminar boundary layer. Okay, so this theory will be called as two film theory if there are a thin film across at the either side of the interface. So we have a, if it is solid and liquid, we consider only one film. Okay, so but if we consider gas and liquid, we can assume a thin film in the gas side and a thin film in the liquid side. So thereby we have two films in the either side of the interface, and across these two films we are going to have two resistances. One is mass transfer resistance in the gas film, and another one mass transfer resistance in the liquid film, and we can have an overall mass transfer coefficient as a function of these two mass transfer coefficients, because 1 by mass transfer coefficient is resistance. We can say overall resistance to mass transfer is equal to a function of these two individual resistance in gas film, resistance in liquid film, right? So thereby we can bring in a relationship where we will discuss under overall mass transfer coefficient concept. Right now in this two film theory, there are few postulates of this film theory. Is the rate of mass transfer between the two phases is controlled by the rate of molecular diffusion through the thin layers on either side of the interface, that can be gas film and liquid film, and beyond that there is no resistance is offered to the mass transfer. So that means the uniform concentration is existing in that region. Okay, it can be achieved, it is possible to achieve that, because by it is a agitator or well mixed zone, we are going to have uniform concentration. Okay, and according to this theory, it says that mass transfer coefficient is directly proportional to the diffusivity, molecular diffusivity, DAB. Okay, so we'll discuss this two film theory in little bit detail. It makes some assumptions. This two film theory makes some assumptions. Whenever there is an interface is there, you are having gas phase and liquid phase coming in contact with each other, or the gas film or liquid film, whatever is leaving or entering, gas and liquid are in equilibrium at the interface. Okay, so that means you have xi is the interface concentration in the liquid phase, yi is the gas phase concentration of solute A in the gas side at the interface. Okay, so that yi and xi will be in equilibrium with each other. So we have seen equilibrium curve x versus y. So we are going to have that equilibrium, that xi and yi will be in equilibrium with each other. That is what is the first assumption in this two film theory. Okay, and this theory also states that, as I told earlier, the resistance to the mass transfer is obtained by adding the resistance in the two films present at the either side of the interface. Okay, so these are coming in, these are useful. These two film theory are applicable in the cases of absorption, distillation, adsorption, and extraction unit operations particularly. Okay, so they hold very well for this type of unit operations. If you look at the case of gas absorption, what is gas absorption? From a gas phase, a solute A is getting diffused from gas phase into liquid phase. There exists an interface. Okay, so in a column, if you consider a unit operation where absorption is taking place, okay, so we have a wall and we have a gas liquid interface, and we can assume three zones. Okay, one is laminar film, a transition zone, and fully developed turbulence. Okay, so these three flow regimes can be visualized. Okay, where the mass transfer is taking place by, in one phase you have eddy diffusion is taking place, and we have a transition zone with some turbulence, and we have a laminar film with molecular diffusion is taking place. Okay, so but this such phenomena, if you consider, it is very difficult to analyze. So for that purpose, we have simplified it into a two film theory, which is the basis for analysis as well as development of various mass transfer correlations useful for mass transfer operations. Okay, so if you look at this two film theory, what we assume is, if there is an interface, please refer to this diagram. If there is an interface, in the either side of the interface, we assume a liquid film. Okay, so if it is in the one side, if it is the liquid side, we have a bulk liquid and we consider a thin laminar layer, you can say thin film, which is liquid film. Similarly, in the other side, we have bulk gas. So in the bulk gas, we have, and in that side, we have a thin film called gas film. Okay, so that's what W.G. Whiteman in 1923 has proposed. At the interface, we have either side, one side we have gas, on one side we have liquid. So from the bulk liquid, we differentiate the interface by a thin liquid film. Okay, so and we assume that we are in this bulk liquid, the uniform is concentration, and within this thin liquid film, we have the mass transfer taking place. Similarly, in the gas film also, we in the bulk gas we have uniform concentration, or you express it in partial pressure, either Ca or Pa, Ca equal to Pa by RT. So we have uniform concentration in the bulk gas, and there is mass transfer, there is change in concentration from Pa to PaI, so which acts as the driving force for mass transfer in the gas film. So that's what same is represented in the color here. So always we are going to have a bulk gas phase and bulk liquid phase, and there will be an interface, and we have a gas film and a liquid film, and within this gas film and liquid film, if we consider one particular direction of mass transfer. Okay, so let us assume the mass transfer is taking place. Okay, let us assume the mass transfer is taking place from gas film to liquid film. So we have Pa higher concentration, lower concentration. It is like a concentration profile diagram. Okay, so we have bulk concentration to be Pa, and we have concentration at the interface. Okay, so that is a concentration profile diagram, similar to heat transfer temperature profile diagram. Okay, so if the mass transfer is this from, so concentration, what if the how the diagram will look like if the mass transfer is taking place from liquid to gas? So in that case, the diagram should come like some, here is the higher concentration, here is the lower concentration. Okay, if the mass transfer is taking place from liquid to gas from the interface, then you have PaI to be higher value, Pa bulk to be lower value. Say for example, it is 1 kg mole, it is going to be 0.5 kg mole. So like that. But here, what is this? Here higher and lower. So here, if it is mass transfer is taking from gas to liquid, so we are having at this bulk, we have concentration of A is higher. At the interface, it is lower. So let it be 1, let it be 0.5 kg mole. Okay. So that way we have higher to lower. It means that gas flow direction is gas, solute A is diffusing from gas to liquid. If the solute A is diffusing from liquid to gas, in that case, this one here interface will have higher concentration, this will have lower concentration. This is what with respect to gas film. In the liquid film, we will have a corresponding, as I said, one of the assumptions in two film theory is this YAI and XAI will be in equilibrium relationship. So you have, if Y equal to Mx relationship, Y star equal to Mx relationship is there. What is the Y star value? That is the value at the interface. Corresponding X value can be obtained if you know this constant. Okay, so corresponding value you have, so that will be higher, because the mass transfer is taking from gas phase to liquid phase, because the liquid in the bulk of the liquid, the concentration is lowest. Okay, Xa in the bulk of the liquid is lowest, so there again there is a driving force, higher concentration at the interface and less concentration in the liquid bulk, so the mass transfer will take place in this direction. So okay, so that way we have the concentration profiles at the gas film and the liquid film when the mass transfer is taking place from gas to liquid. If the mass transfer is taking from liquid to gas, the diagram will be, the slope will be reverse. Okay, so let us list the assumptions made in two film theory. The concentration at any point in the tower do not change with respect to time. We have uniform concentration, that is steady state operations is assumed. and we consider that at the interface between the gas and liquid phase is a sharp boundary. It is a single point boundary. It is not widespread anywhere. It is like very thin. It's a sharp boundary. So that is the second assumption. And we consider that a thin laminar film is existing. Okay, laminar film exists at the interface of the both sides. That's what we have seen, that interface I. So you have liquid film and you have gas film. Okay, so you have gas film in this side and you have liquid film in that side. Okay, and at the interface, whatever is the concentration of the interface, YAI and XAI, they are in equilibrium with each other. That is another assumption. And there is no chemical reaction taking place at the interface. Okay, so there is rate of diffusion across the gas phase film must be equal to the rate of diffusion across the liquid film. Obviously there is a flux and there is a flux here. So at steady state means flux in flux in gas film should be equal to flux in liquid film. That is, flux of A in gas film should be equal to flux of A in the liquid film. Okay, so the driving force and mass transfer coefficient will be accordingly defined. Okay, so this is again the diagram. So from looking at the diagram and tell what is the direction of mass transfer. So at the interface it is higher and at the bulk it is low, means mass transfer is taking place from interface to here. So at the interface it is lower and you have at the bulk of the gas it is higher. That means the mass transfer direction is this. So I was telling you the another thing, if the mass transfer is taking place from liquid to gas, so we will be having some diagram like this. Okay, so this will be, that means beyond this it is uniform concentration, XA bulk, we have XAI and we have corresponding YAI and it is going to be Y bulk. Okay, so that way the mass transfer direction can be written by looking at the concentration curve profile. Okay, so according to this theory you can see that it assumes that even though the actual velocity profile is like this theory assumes that the actual mass transfer is only taking place within this thin film. Okay, so that way mass transfer is taking place. So it also says that KL is equal to DAB by thickness, whatever is the thickness of this film. A thin film is assumed, whatever is the thickness, DAB by del L is the relationship between mass transfer coefficient and diffusivity. So that's why we can say that KL is proportional to DAB according to two film theory. So according to two film theory, KL is proportional to DAB power 1. So if we in general if we say mass transfer coefficient is proportional to DAB power n, we can say that n equal to 1 for two film theory. According to two film theory, n equal to 1. We will see what is this DAB power for other theories also. Okay, so if we summarize the salient points related to this two film theory, we can just go through it. The resistance to transfer in two phase on both sides of the interface is replaced by two imaginary films. We are assuming two film which does not exist actually, but we assume it to be two thin fictitious film. Okay, and we assume that mass transfer is resistance to mass transfer occurs only within this film, beyond which there is no resistance to mass transfer, and we are assuming it to be well mixed, bulk concentration is uniform. Okay, and within these films it is a steady process and we have molecular diffusion taking place. Okay, so we assume two thin films and within these films molecular diffusion takes place, and within these films the concentration gradient is assumed to be linear, and outside this film the resistance is 0, or you can say the concentration gradient is 0 outside these thin films. Okay, we are having interface, we are having gas film, we are having liquid film. So whatever mass transfer resistance is there, only within these two films, gas film and liquid film, we have resistance to mass transfer, beyond which it is well mixed. That means that concentration gradient is 0. And we are saying that there exists an equilibrium between the YI and XI, right? XI is liquid phase concentration at the interface, YI is gas phase concentration of solute A. Is all for solute A only. Okay, solute A, concentration of solute A at the interface, concentration of solute B, solute A at the gas at the interface. Okay, in gas phase. Okay, then another point it assumes is the time taken for the concentration gradient to establish very small compared to the time to transfer. That means the film capacity is negligible. Okay, so this theory assumes that the film capacity is negligible. That means as soon as the contact is coming into picture, we have concentration gradient is established. Okay, so this theory also assumes that the turbulence in the bulk fluid dies at the interface. That's again repeat of this film. So within this film, we are assuming two Fixier's film in which only laminar flow takes place. That means turbulence or eddies in the bulk fluid dies at the interface. Okay, so this is important point. And according to this two film theory, the mass transfer coefficients for different solvents transferred under identical fluid flow conditions are proportional to the diffusivity. That's why we said K is proportional to DAB according to this two film theory. Okay, so for under identical fluid flow conditions, we have this one. Okay. So this two film theory can be analyzed more effectively by using the equilibrium solubility curve, particularly for these absorption operations or distillation operations. We will, in the mass transfer course, we are going to make use of X versus Y equilibrium curve. Okay, so we have equilibrium curve means how this will affect your mass transfer. Okay, if you know the bulk composition, so how to mark it. If you know the interface composition, how to mark it. What is that? What is the relationship between? If I let me say that it is P and M. P is the bulk concentration, X and Y in bulk, and M is the Xi, Yi. So how this? What is this slope of this line PM? Can be written. Okay, so that thing are useful. So that's why this equilibrium solubility curves are useful in analyzing the mass transfer operation using this two film theory. Okay, so this is more effective. This two film theory is particularly effective for absorption, adsorption, distillation, extraction, etc. Okay, please refer to Cedar textbook if you want to look at this diagram. Okay, so what you can say is again we'll repeat this one. So we have the concentration in the bulk gas phase is YAG. The bulk liquid concentration is XAG, that is mole fractions. Okay, YAG for gas phase, XAL for liquid phase. Okay, we already seen that X is used for gas and Y is used, both are mole fraction only. Okay, just for uniformity, we have for gas we always use Y, and for liquid we use X. Okay, so that uniformity we will follow. So we have YAG, which is the bulk gas phase, and XAL, which is bulk liquid phase, and which can be we know the concentration, right? It is always easy to know what is the concentration of A, solute A in the gas phase, and what is the concentration in the liquid phase, because even for any operation, we know if flue gas is there, mean this flue gas contains how much SO2. We can find out by analysis, proximate analysis, all that. Okay, and similarly, if a liquid is there, we know the how to, what is the, because mostly if it is pure liquid, water, how much solute A is present in it can be always determined. Concentration can be determined using various technique by measuring one of the physical properties. Okay, sometimes titration methods also can be used to measure the concentration. Okay, so this departure from the equilibrium is going to be the driving force for mass transfer. Okay, so whatever is the departure, how far is away from your point is away, so that much driving force will be there. Okay, so we will see some of them here. Okay, so if let us understand the notations what we are going to use. We are going to use YAG for bulk gas phase, that is the mole fraction of solute A in the gas phase. XAL is the mole fraction of solute A in the bulk of the liquid. Okay, and let the XAI and YAI are the equilibrium interfacial composition in terms of mole fraction. Okay, so we can always define, if we are assuming a thin film in the liquid film, so we are going to have Kx, if the driving force is xai minus xal. So we have mass transfer coefficient is kx, and resistance to this resistance offered by this film is equal to 1 by kx. Okay, similarly in the gas film you have concentration YAG, and in the interface we have YAI. Okay, so the driving force is YAI, and the resistance offered to this mass transfer in this film is equal to 1 by small ky. That is inverse of mass transfer coefficient is the resistance in the gas film. So here we are again assuming mass transfer is taking place from gas to liquid. So that's why YAG, YAI. So higher to lower we have this. So how to flux is can be written? Flux NA equal to mass transfer coefficient into driving force. So we have the expression here. Okay, here is the formula. Flux equal to mass transfer coefficient into driving force. So we can always write this. And for this also we can always write NA equal to Kx into, here interface is higher, bulk is less. So you are writing this way. Okay, this is when mass transfer is taking place from gas to liquid, we have to write like this. How to write if it is taking place from liquid to gas? We have to write Na is equal to Ky into YAI minus YAG, and Na is equal to Kx into XAL minus XAI. So this depends upon direction of mass transfer. Okay, mass transfer direction is important. Higher to lower it will take place. Okay, so once you see data is given, if you know that, so this is 0.005 and this is 0.0005, obviously this higher value, this lower value, mass transfer takes place from this direction to this directions can be understood. Okay, and if you look at the other theories of interface mass transfer, we have penetration theory. So penetration theory overcomes some of the drawbacks associated with the mass transfer, this two film theory, because we have seen so many assumptions in the two film. Each theory is like that only. The assumptions made in previous theory is deviating from the reality. So the next person tries to address that shortcomings. So we improves it by considering more realistic approach. We introduce some, these are all mathematical models for our mass transfer. So it's again actually modeling of the experimental system. Actual data is there. From the data we try to fit it into a model equation, so that you know that you try to bring in y equal to mx is a model equation, simple model equation for two parameter system x versus y data, right? So we want to know m is the model slope of the equation if you get y equal to mx relationship, right? So if you are not getting able to fit that curve, so whenever a model is developed, a curve will be drawn, and the experimental data also will be plotted. If the curve fits into whatever mathematical model curve which is made theoretically, that also if they are matching, in that case we can say that this model is valid for the given set of experiments. Okay, so if you look at this penetration theory, it has some of the advantages. Let us see to it. So in penetration theory, it is emphasized that, as stated in the film theory, the steady state condition will not have time to develop. We may not have time for steady state in that case. Okay, and this theory states that we have the surface and we have bulk of the liquid, right? So at the interface, what you can say, this theory states is this some of the eddies are there. Due to eddies, they try to come at the surface, they stay here at certain time and they go back here into the bulk. I repeat, eddies will carry solute molecules A present in the liquid will be carried by the eddies to the interface, and they stay for a certain period of time at the interface. Again that eddy goes into the bulk and dissipates. Okay, so particular time was spent by these eddy, each molecule. So but it assumes that all the molecules spend equal time at the surface, and there we have a constant concentration at the surface. Okay, so thereby it tries to make use of the expression of transient rate of diffusion into relatively thick mass of fluid with a constant concentration at the surface. And according to this theory, penetration theory, mass transfer coefficient K is proportional to DAB power 0.5. So as I said, when I say K is proportional to DAB power n, Here n equal to 0.5 for penetration theory. Okay, so according to this penetration theory, which is also called as Higgs's model, it assumes that each element at the gas liquid interface is exposed to the gas for a shorter time. It, as I said, it comes to the interface and each molecule comes here and it is exposed to a short time. Okay, and this states that, so this basically makes assumption. So mass transfer from the gas into a liquid element occurs under unsteady state conditions once they are in contact. So it is overcoming that steady state assumption made in the two film theory. So it assumes it is taking place under unsteady state conditions, and it also assumes that each liquid element stays in contact with the gas for the same time period. As I said, the constant time. Okay, just assume the case of engineering degree, it is 4 years period. So what we are assuming is, so every student is coming into this college and spends 4 year equally. Okay, so again this is only an assumption, but is it what happening? Some student leave early, some student does it till the maximum limit is there, 7 years, 8 years also, right? So that way this assumption may have limitation. That's why we have going for another theory. But according to this theory, every student spends 4 years at the interface. Same thing here. So each liquid element stays in contact with the gas for the same period of time, and same in the two film theory. Here also the equilibrium exists between the gas and liquid at the interface. Okay, the gas concentration YAI and the liquid concentration XAI, they are in equilibrium. Okay, YAI equal to M into XAI. Okay, so they are in equilibrium, so they come under X versus Y equilibrium plot. You can always mark the interface concentration at the equilibrium curve. Okay, so this theory was considered as, that time, during that time it was considered to be an improvement from the two film theory, since mass transfer occurs under unsteady state condition in many industrial processes. Okay, that way this theory was much appreciated than the two film theory for some of the applications. Okay, so this theory is particularly useful when you are considering a liquid and gas bubble are introduced into the system. Okay, gas bubbles are, you know, if it is a aerated system like biological reactions, fermentation reactions, we always supply air or oxygen into the system. So oxygen bubble, depending upon the size of the bubble, we are going to have a different rate of mass transfer. Okay, also it will affect the reactions also. So the penetration theory expresses the liquid side mass transfer coefficient in terms of the contact time. As I said, all material will spend some a particular contact time. Okay, so that way we have the contact time as we get a KL equation, mass transfer coefficient. These are all model, right? So person derives it to show us what is the final relationship between KL and DAB. So we can say that, see that KL equal to 2 into square root of DAB by pi into contact time theta. Okay, so that means KL is proportional to DAB power 0.5, that is n equal to 0.5 here. Okay, so if you are considering a rising bubble, what happens is, we can say that a liquid elements are sliding, or it's like a slider in the park. Okay, so a student climbs on it, so he slides over the climber, that is the contact time. Okay, so how much time he spends his time between the slider and himself, so that is the contact time here. Same like if it is a spherical bubble, a liquid element are sliding from the top to here, here, and like here. I will try to show it with an animation. So if this is the gas bubble, so we have liquid element where you have these liquid elements, you have the particles. Okay, so we can see that from the bulk it moves to the top of the surface and it may be sliding. Okay, so the time spent by them, after that, which gets discarded from the gas bubble into the bulk of the solution. Okay, so that way the some of the A is getting into the solution. Okay, so this is at the top, then it goes. So you have the movement, it slides down and get back into the solution. Okay, repeat, initially you have a concentration of A, so the particle goes here, so that way the interaction is taking place. Okay, so what is that? This gas, this one gets interacted with this one, either way mass transfer can take place. So that is the interface here. Okay, So this, if you summarize the penetration theory, it assumes that unsteady state mass transfer is taking place at the gas liquid interface, and the equilibrium is attained immediately at the gas liquid interface, and each element is in contact with the gas liquid interface for the same length of contact time theta. Okay, and that means that every element will travel from the bulk of the gas liquid interface, and they remain in the interface for a certain time t theta, and each element will have the same length of time, so that will be again replaced by the fresh element of the liquid. Okay, so another set of, it's like every student graduates after 4 years, another set of new batch comes here and gets graduated. Okay, so just you can relate to that. So that's what penetration theory says, that is at the interface. Okay, so the time exposure of the fluid to mass transfer generally being very short, it assumes to be very short, and the establishment of the concentration gradient of the film theory is not possible. That is, a characteristics of steady state is not possible, is being one of the main point of this penetration theory. And the transfer is mainly due to fresh material being brought to the interface surface. As I said, you have fresh material coming and spending certain time, so thereby the mass transfer is taking place. Okay, so the process of unsteady state transfer takes place for a fixed period at the freshly exposed surface. So once it comes, as I said, each element will spend the same time. And again, a fresh set of molecule is introduced, that will spend the same time here also. So we have as a summation, mass transfer coefficient is proportional to square root of DAB. Okay, this is what according to penetration theory. Okay, actually this penetration theory can be solved to get the assumption once we take the fixed second law of, because unsteady state means we have fixed second law equation. Okay, so we can take the boundary conditions and we can arrive at the solution. Okay, so we have seen that previous class what is fixed second law of diffusion, assuming that velocity is 0 and no chemical reaction takes place. We have this from the continuity equation, we can arrive at fixed second law of diffusion. Okay, so we have this one, and in fluid mechanics we have continuity equation del dot P equal to 0. Okay, so people forget that again and again, asking this doubt, why we are not, if density is 0, density changes are 0, why we are taking this del dot V is 0? Because this is simplified only after we consider density changes are negligible. Okay, del rho is negligible, then only we have this continuity equation. Okay, so that is, if you are writing it for a one dimensional case, so we can write dou Ca by dou T equal to dAB into dou square Ca by dou x square, is for one dimensional case. Okay, so this, if you are where x is the distance, T is the time. Okay, so if you are solving this equation, the final solution can be attained, which will be of this form: Ca by Ca naught by Ca star minus Ca naught equal to 1 minus error function into x by square root of 4 dA by t. So this is what we have, that one. Okay, square root of dA. Okay, so the where error function is 0 to x e power minus x square dx by 0 to infinity e power minus x square dx, and from that we can write the molar flux equal to minus dAB into dou Ca by dou x at x equal to 0. So we have this expression. Okay, so what is important for us to know is mass transfer coefficient is proportional to dAB. Okay, or if K is given, we should be able to find what is the contact time according to penetration theory. Okay, so for that we have this expression here, right? This equation we should know, so this is more important. So if KL is known, we can find theta, or if theta and dAB are known, we can find KL. Numericals you can practice. Okay, so let's move on to the next theory, which is surface renewal theory. So according to surface renewal theory, earlier theory, penetration theory, what was assumed, every fluid element is coming into the contact, but each element is spending same time at the interface, right? So this theory overcomes that assumption also. Okay, so let us look into this surface renewal theory. Since the rate of the solute penetration depends upon the exposure time, the average rate of a unit surface area must be determined by, should be determined by summing up the individual values. Okay, so the surface renewal rate is the one another parameter model is introduced. The contact time, that contact time is again a parameter. Okay, so that is again a model parameter. In this model, you have a model parameter called as surface renewal rate. Yeah, it assumes that surface is being renewed by fresh set of elements. Okay, so how often it is being renewed, that mass transfer will depend upon the rate at which the surface is getting renewed. Okay, so according to this surface renewal theory, we have K is proportional to, that is mass transfer coefficient is proportional to square root of surface renewal rate into DAB. Okay, so if you look at the case, we have a bulk, well mixed bulk region at Ca. We are considering a liquid, the concentration change is taking place. Okay, so at the interface, we can use this mathematical model, and we have the expression for this. Okay, so average molar flux, it is further extension of what we have seen in the previous theory, penetration theory. So further a flux equation can be extended to write this expression, to modify it and write. So here this KL is replaced, KL is the square root of DAB into S. Okay, S is the parameter model which is called surface renewal rate. Surface renewal rate. Okay, so that's what important for us. So we should know that KL is equal to square root of DAB into S. Okay, where S is the surface renewal rate. Okay, so that is sufficient for us. So KL equal to DAB into S power 0.5. So again, according to this theory, N equal to 0.5. Okay, so N equal to 1, 2 film theory, penetration theory, N equal to 0.5, surface renewal theory, again N equal to 0.5. Okay, so if we summarize the points of the surface renewal theory, so this also assumes that eddies of the fluid at the surface do not have a constant exposure time, because according to penetration theory, all eddies are spending the same time at the interface, but here it assumes that they are having different exposure time and they are exposed to varying length of time. It takes into account that there is a possibility student may not complete his degree in 4 years, some may be leaving in 3 years, some may be spending 6 years, right? So similar to that, this surface renewal theory takes into account of that thing. Different, each student will spend different time at here. Okay, and on the basis of the exposure history, an age distribution for the surface element is calculated, and the mass transfer coefficient is proportional to the square root of the product of diffusivity and the age distribution factor, which is surface renewal rate. Okay, so this surface renewal rate is defined as the rate of the production of fresh surface per unit total area of the surface. Okay, what is surface renewal rate? It is defined at the rate at which it is the rate of the production of fresh surface per unit total area. Among this, if this much area is available, among which how much area is freshly prepared every second. Okay, the rate of production of fresh surface area per unit total area available at the surface. Okay, and if we are to compare these values with experimental values, several people have performed the experiments, and you can see how much is the reported value. So we are seeing that according to one theory, this n value proportion DAB power n, dn equal to 1.5, 0.5 we have seen, right? But if you look at the experimental data values, you can see that KL value varying from 0.33 to 0.5, 0.46 to 0.6, 0.5, 0.64, 0.5, 0.6, 0.46, 0.55. So that means that our which theory it is? Surface renewal theory is close to this value, because this theory proposes n value equal to 0.5. So we have the range experimental data which is matching the value reported by surface renewal theory. Okay, so these people have done search and then reported the diffusivity exponent values. Okay, and there is another theory which combines the two film theory. It is like theory 1, theory 2, theory 3. Fourth theory says that I make a new theory which says that these two combined will work, right? So So if I say this thing, at one condition this is negligible, this is applicable, and another condition this is negligible, this will work, like that. So if you say that, this theory is called film penetration theory. So it combines two film theory and penetration theory, and this theory incorporates some of the salient features of the both two film theories and the penetration theory. If you look at the outline of this theory, the complete resistance to mass transfer is regarded as lying within the finite laminar layer as considered in the two film theory. The resistance outside the films, gas film and the liquid film, are negligible. Okay, the transfer process is regarded as an unsteady state process as considered in penetration. Okay, so fresh surface is formed at the interface from the fluid, which is brought to the interface from the bulk by the eddies. So this as per penetration theory. And the transfer that takes place as in the penetration theory, and the material traversing the film mixes with the bulk of the fluid immediately. Okay, immediately there is a mixing taking place. Okay, and for short exposure time, the process is identical to postulation made in case of penetration theory, whereas for long exposure time, a steady concentration gradient condition similar to two film theory will exist. So that is valid for long exposure time. For short exposure time, penetration theory is valid. Okay, and we have another boundary layer theory which we have seen already also. Flow pass flat plate, the boundary layer is laminar sublayer, viscous layer, okay, and then transient region and then turbulent regions are there, right? So according to this theory, Kc value is proportional to dAb power 2 by 3. Okay, so this boundary layer theory is what we have been discussing, right? In case of conduit also, we have seen the profile to be flat here. So based on the boundary layer, we know that boundary layer will be varying like this in a fully developed flow. Okay, so there are some situations where we can make use of the boundary layer theory, which gives the relationship between Kc and dAb to be n value equal to 2 by 3. Okay, that is dAb power n, where n equal to 2 by 3. Now we have seen several theories of mass transfer. So this and we have seen the resistance and resistance to mass transfer in each film. So always we are having two film theory. If it is applicable, then we have one mass transfer coefficient or one resistance in the gas film and another resistance in the liquid film, which is inverse of mass transfer coefficient in the liquid film, right? So to replace these two films, and it is impossible to measure the concentration at the interface, and we know the bulk concentration in the gas phase and bulk concentration in the liquid phase, and so we want to express, we want to overcome that one. Say when you are writing flux equation, we always write kx into ya minus yai or xa minus xai or whatever, depending upon the direction of mass transfer, right? So is it possible to measure the interface concentration? It's very difficult. So that way we are going to introduce overall mass transfer coefficient, which is inverse of overall resistance to mass transfer, which can be given by overall resistance to mass transfer is equal to resistance in the gas film plus resistance in the liquid film. So resistance is inverse of mass transfer coefficient. So we can always relate this overall mass transfer coefficient to individual mass transfer coefficient corresponding to gas film and individual mass transfer coefficient corresponding to liquid film. Okay, how they are related, we are going to discuss now. Okay, so we are going to define first what is overall mass transfer coefficient. Okay, so we can always write this overall mass transfer coefficient. It is a definition. Okay, so here we are assuming two things here. Okay, so because we have seen that only YAG, that is bulk concentrations, are known in the liquid and gas. In the liquid and gas, we know the bulk concentration. Okay, and if you relate the equilibrium curve, okay, equilibrium curve, if you know this y value, okay, let me say you have a YA value. Okay, so you have YA value is known, YAG is known. That YAG, if we draw a line to the corresponding to it, we are going to get a corresponding equilibrium concentration in the liquid phase. Okay, so YAG, if we consider it to be YA star, so we are going to have a corresponding value. Similarly, this bulk concentration XAL, Okay, and if you draw up to a equilibrium curve, we are going to have a corresponding YA star. Okay, so these two are, say for example, so this YAG which may be in equilibrium with some XA star, and XAL will be in equilibrium with a corresponding value of YA star. Using that XA star and YA star value, which can be easily achieved from the equilibrium curve, we are going to define overall mass transfer coefficient. As I told earlier, small k represent individual mass transfer coefficient, and this overall mass transfer coefficient will be represented by capital K. Okay, so when the difference between small k and capital K is, this is used to refer individual mass transfer coefficient, and this we are going to make use for overall mass transfer coefficient. It is similar to U and H in heat transfer. Individual heat transfer coefficient you will use H, overall heat transfer coefficient you will use U, right? So that way we can make use of this overall mass transfer coefficient definition to define the flux. Okay, so the overall mass transfer coefficient can be expressed like this. So flux NA is equal to capital Kx, remember, not small k, capital Kx into XA star minus XAL. Okay, similarly Na is equal to capital Ky into YAG minus Y star. Okay, A can be always skipped, right? Because we are mostly coming across the binary system, so A can be also skipped. Okay, so that way we would know defining what is XA star or YA star. If you are understanding it, you are okay with overall mass transfer coefficient. So this you understand. So you have bulk concentration in the equilibrium curve. If you know correspondingly, it will have an equilibrium value in x-axis, right? So that value is XA star. Similarly, you have XA bulk. When you are correspondingly, it may have a equilibrium composition in the gas phase. So that would be in equilibrium with this bulk liquid. So you have bulk gas, bulk liquid, and their corresponding equilibrium values in X and Y equilibrium curve. Okay, so that's what we should know. So nomenclatures: small kx, small ky, you know individual mass transfer coefficient. When I use capital Kx or capital Ky, so they are overall mass transfer coefficient. And here we will be coming across the interfacial area per unit volume when we consider the reaction also taking place, or in packed tower we will discuss that in detail. Okay, right now if you look at it, if you know the mass transfer direction, you can see that it is higher to lower is the mass transfer direction. So here the mass transfer direction, so it's a small individual mass transfer coefficient. We can always write the mass transfer taking place as XA minus XAI, YA minus YA. Okay, so that way we can always relate the rate of, because at the steady state equilibrium you have the rate of this rate is equal to this rate. We can always have the relationship. We can write this ratio is equal to this one. Okay. And this overall mass transfer coefficient we has to be defined, because it is impossible to measure the interface concentration. We can only calculate the bulk composition, and the corresponding values can be used to define the driving force in terms of YA star and XA star, where the corresponding mass transfer coefficient is your overall mass transfer coefficient depending upon your driving force. If driving force is your Y minus Y star, it is going to be Ky. The driving force is going to be X minus X star or X star minus X. Okay, depending upon the direction. Okay, so let me say X minus X star. If it is gas to liquid, it is going to be X star minus X. Okay, so we are going to have this overall mass transfer coefficient is being defined. Okay, so how to get the X star value and Y star value, I will explain with you with this animation. So always you have Y equal to mx relationship, equilibrium data is available, or even directly X versus Y equilibrium data will be available always. Okay, so if you plot, if you get the X versus Y data, we can always plot to get the value. Okay, so we can always have this X versus Y plot being drawn. Okay, so in this, as I said, if you know the bulk composition is, we know YAG value and XAL value. These two are bulk compositions or bulk concentrations in gas phase and liquid phase in terms of mole fractions. Okay, so first thing to do is you have to take with YAG value. YAG value in the y axis we can mark. Okay, once you have marked this YAG value, you draw a line, vertical horizontal line to x axis up to this equilibrium curve. Okay, so that equilibrium curve corresponding value in the x axis, you can always find out the XA star value. Okay, so XA star value can be obtained in this fashion. How? YAG, first mark YAG in the y axis, draw a horizontal line up to equilibrium curve, corresponding value in the x-axis is your XA star value. So we get XA star value from the equilibrium curve. Okay, and then you have XAL value. So XAL value you have. Okay, so take XAL value in the x-axis, draw a line to the y-axis, means to the equilibrium curve. Okay, so we get XA star value here, and XAL is marked in the x-axis. Draw a parallel line to y-axis where it cuts the equilibrium curve. Draw a corresponding parallel line to x-axis. In the y-axis we get YA star value. Okay, so what we get is YA star. So we get YA star from the equilibrium curve. Okay, so these two can be used to define the flux equation, right? Na equal to ky into y minus y star, or Na equal to capital Kx into x star minus x. So this when gas phase to liquid phase mass transfer. So if the direction will be reversed when L to G mass transfer is taking place, we are going to a Na equal to capital Ky into y star minus y, and Na is equal to Kx into x minus x star. Okay, so that way we will get XA star value and YA star value. So now you have two set of values. Okay, x star comma y star value, and you have XAG YAG value. Okay, and we will have an interface value xi comma ya, which cannot be directly measured from the experiment, but we can always relate it, because we can always relate the two flux equations and say what is the relationship between P and M. If the point P is XAG YAG and M is XI YI, we can find out what is the slope of PM. Okay, what is slope of PM? So first let us mark the point P in this curve. Okay, so we can always mark the PA, XAL and YAG is this point. So we can mark that point in this one. So which is point P, values are XAL comma YAG. Okay, bulk concentrations. Okay, so once we have this bulk concentration, we can mark that point, and we will get the slope to get the interfacial concentration by the slope value. Okay, so we have the slope equal to, by substituting the slope value, we will be drawing dx by dy value. Once you know the slope, dy by dx can be taken, so that can be extended to this, or to get the corresponding value in. So this will be our xi comma yi value. So that is your M point. Xi comma yi can be determined from this one. Okay, so this can be used to draw the solve the problems also. Okay, so the slope is given by minus kx by ky. So the slope is equal to minus kx by ky is the slope. Okay, so what is kx ky? We have seen individual mass transfer coefficients. So that's what it will look like. So the point P, point M. Okay, so this is your interface concentration xai comma yai. So this point P is your xal comma yag. Okay, and its corresponding value is your xa star, and this corresponding value is your ya star value. Okay, so that's why we define the mass transfer coefficient r equal to k capital Y into ya star minus ya. So this is defined where r is the overall mass transfer. This is r equal to overall mass transfer coefficient into overall driving force. Okay, now what is the relationship between overall mass transfer coefficients? and individual mass transfer coefficients. So for that, first in the expression we will replace it by ya minus ya, y star minus ya can be replaced by plus or minus yai. Okay, because we want to express it in terms of interface, right? So you can write here. So this is ky equal to y star minus ya, right? So that ky equal to y star minus ya, we can write what is 1 by ky. Okay, 1 by ky equal to y star minus ya by r. Okay, mass transfer rate. Now here we are replacing plus yai, or you can say minus yai plus yai. So what will happen? We can again write into two terms. First two into one term, next two into another term. So we have ya star minus yai divided by r plus yai minus ya by r. Okay, so then what is this one? As per the individual mass transfer coefficient definitions, we can relate now to this one. Okay, so we can write 1 by capital Ky is equal to, what is r? R is by definition it can be written as kx into xa minus xai. So here in this derivation we are considering liquid to gas mass transfer. So we are writing rate of mass transfer is equal to capital Ky into x star minus x equal to capital K, okay, it should be capital Kx, or capital Ky equal to y star minus y. Okay, so we have this. So here itself we should say that mass transfer is taking place from liquid to gas. Okay, that way, so when you write r equal to kx into xa minus xai, ky equal to yai minus ya, because the mass transfer is taking place from liquid to gas, interface concentration will be more at the gas phase, and in the bulk of the liquid it will be less. In the bulk it will be more, at the interface it is less. That you should understand, which for which we are writing the relationship. Okay, so if you write this here, ky equal to yai minus ya, so we will see that this getting cancelled. Okay, so you get 1 by capital Ky equal to, right, 1 by capital Ky equal to 1 by small kx plus 1 by small ky. This becomes 1, but this is what, nothing but your slope. This is nothing but your slope. Ya star minus yai by xa minus xai is the m value. Okay, so that is the relationship between overall mass transfer coefficient and individual mass transfer coefficient. And here we come across two extreme cases where gas film resistance is there, liquid film resistance is there. So if some liquid, some gas may be highly soluble, in that case one of the resistance can be negligible. If it is highly soluble in the liquid, or if it is sparingly soluble, we are going to have two extreme cases. Okay, so in one case the one resistance can be negligible. Okay, so there are two extreme cases. Okay, so this particularly, this is overall mass transfer coefficient and individual mass transfer coefficients are applicable for absorption, extraction and distillation. Okay, so we should know what is what. Capital Ky is overall resistance, small kx, 1 by small kx is going to be resistance in the liquid film, right? So we have the relationship. So we should know that the resistance, mass transfer resistance, is defined as the reciprocal of mass transfer coefficient. So 1 by small kx is represents the resistance to mass transfer in the liquid phase, or 1 by small ky represents the resistance to mass transfer in the gas phase. Okay, so we have extreme case when we will call it is a gas. We have, even though there are two resistance, which resistance is more, that is controlling the overall mass transfer, right? So we can say that overall mass transfer is controlled by 1 by small ky when the resistance is more in case of gas phase. Okay, so in this case the solute A can be interpreted as very soluble in the liquid. That is, here the resistance is negligible because the gas is readily soluble in the liquid. So for such a highly soluble system, when the solute is readily soluble in the solvent, the resistance to liquid film is negligible, whereas gas film resistance is present. So the overall mass transfer is controlled by the resistance in the gas phase. So that way 1 by capital Ky is equivalent to 1 by small ky, which means that small ky is almost equivalent to capital Ky. So the contribution is, the resistance is mainly in gas phase. So that way it is called as gas phase control the mass transfer. It is like slowest. Here there is no jam, here there are more traffic jam. Then you can say that the time you will reach your destination depends upon the resistance in that particular traffic jam area, right? So that we can say the negligible, you can reach travel within this in negligible time. Okay, so that way it is called gas film resistance, gas film controlled mass transfer. So other case is going to be liquid phase controlled mass transfer. When the resistance in the liquid, say for example, when the resistance in the liquid film is very high, the resistance in the gas film is less. When that will happen? When A is relatively insoluble in the liquid, it's sparingly soluble in the liquid. In that case, the resistance in the liquid film is going to be more. So the overall resistance is going to be highly influenced by the resistance in the liquid film alone. So we get that other term 1 by small ky negligible. So we will have this case of 1 by capital Kx equivalent to 1 by small kx, which means that the liquid film is controlling the mass transfer. So the mass transfer, the rate of mass transfer is controlled by resistance in the liquid film. Okay. Okay, we can easily solve the numerical based on this theories explained. Okay. Friends, in this lecture, we have seen several theories of mass transfer like two film theory, surface renewal theory, penetration theory, combination of several theories, all that in detail. What is the how the mass transfer coefficient is proportional to diffusivity for all these theories of mass transfer, and we have seen what is overall mass transfer coefficient and what is the relationship between overall mass transfer coefficient and individual mass transfer coefficients at the gas film and the liquid film, right? Thank you so much for joining my classroom. We will continue in the next lecture. Bye bye.